Every story appears ordinary until you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Thank you for joining us on CoreTV News at 7. I am Frank Omalapia. Here are some of the stories filing in at this time. A mind drama was recorded in the ongoing inspection of election materials by the People's Democratic Party and the All Progressive Congress at the INEC office in Osogbo. The disagreement between the councils to the APC and the PDP started when the People's Democratic Party was asked to produce an exhibit contained in the inspection application filed by the councils to the party.
They said they want to inspect exhibit A. Go and bring exhibit A for Obokun in your roster. That you have showed. I'm not. No, I will respond to it. I'm not finished. Don't tell me anything. Don't tell me that. A lawyer that knows his onion will list. Yes, now. Will list. Let us know what to do. You don't know what to do. You are so stupid. Don't tell me that. You said your way. You are idiot also. You are idiot. You are stupid. It doesn't mean. You are stupid. The level is not professional. That is, we are not arguing on here. Excuse me, sir. No, of course now. Excuse me, sir.
We have our facts. We are focused. Ours is to ensure absolute transparency, and we will follow it strictly. So we ask for your cooperation at your time, please. And let us do the right thing. Both parties, please, you know the right thing. Please adhere strictly to the right thing. I will guarantee transparency.
About 20 policemen are still missing more than a month after Boko Haram insurgents took over the Mobile Police Training College in Gwoza, Borno State. Acting Inspector General Police Suleiman Abba disclosed this to State House correspondent in Abuja. He noted that some of the policemen who were initially declared missing had found their way back to their families.
It's important. It's the one that is most difficult to do. When you are changing a culture that has been there for too long, then you should know that you are going to face a lot of challenges. Those involved in changes will tell you changing a culture, changing the character, changing attitude of personnel is very, very difficult. Naturally, it comes with resistance. It comes with a lot of challenges on its own, but somehow someone has to do it. I felt I should do it, not minding the team. I must tell you, the turnout of those missing is still impressive because we still have been able to trace some of the officers who have reported either back to their bases, some have even reported back to their families. When you get through what they went through, the likelihood of you knowing what to do is not very tenable. There's the possibility that the decision of what you do may not be easily comprehensible. So some went back to their homes, and our concern is that once they are in safety, then we are satisfied. And the process of perhaps bringing, you know, every police officer knows that if you are on patrol on the street, there's the likelihood that someone who wants to do what is not right, who wants to commit a crime, sees you as an enemy. So once you are doing a patrol, you should know that there are also dangers associated with policing and associated with patrolling. So to us, facing dangers in the performance of police duties is not new. What is new is that this time around, the enemy is highly armed, and that is why the military is there to support us in fighting them. Thank you.
Nigeria's military authorities have confirmed that 2 officers and 3 soldiers were wounded in counter-terrorism operations in Adamawa State, but declined to say whether one of the injured officers is Adeboye Obasanjo, son of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. The defense headquarters said through its Twitter account that the wounded soldiers are receiving treatment in a military medical facility aftermath of the operation in Mubi. It added that the troops were involved in a fierce battle with Boko Haram insurgents as part of effort to root out the militants, saying scores of insurgents lost their lives while several others escaped with what it's described as fatal gunshot wounds. Now, Cameroon says 2 Tuareg fighters are among 100 Boko Haram insurgents killed in a recent gun battle. Communication Minister Issa Chiroma said in a press statement that the insurgents had been firing shells into Futukole, a small border town that's a few kilometers from Nigeria. He added that the soldiers' response force backed the insurgents into Gamborungala, a community linked by bridge to Futukole. Cameroon insists there is no casualties on its side, but there is no independent confirmation of the claims. Now, the Boko Haram insurgents has affected the lives of thousands of Nigerian businesses, especially in the northeast. The coordinator, National Emergency Management Agency Northeast, Mohammed Kanar, says there are 20,000 internally displaced persons at the moment in Maiduguri, which the agency is taking care of. Kanar spoke through a telephone conversation on a flashy program called Digest.
Can you confirm the number of internally displaced persons in Nigeria as we speak now as a result of the insurgency?
About 26,000.
26,000?
Yes.
In Maiduguri?
Yes.
Okay, you made mention of camps. Where exactly are these 26,000 people?
The orientation camp is right inside Maiduguri along near Kano Station, Kano Park, Kano Station Park. And then the other one is about a kilometer deep distance. It's Yarwaga Manga Secondary School. That is why we focus. And then we are working strongly with the state government. The state government have formed a committee which we are working together with them at all these camps to provide shelter for these people.
A public affairs analyst, Victor High, appreciated the agency but insisted that securing the territories by the Nigerian military will help the internally displaced person return to normal life.
26,000, for instance, that have been displaced. That is under the care of NEMA right now. If you say, okay, these are you forget the arms and you take care of them, obviously in the shortest possible time, these people will have no way, they would be attacked as well. So I think it's important to secure, you know, these territories.
Okay.
Is very, very important. The issue of the internally displaced persons right now, especially those now that have nowhere to go to, is a much more recent development. It's been ongoing, don't get me wrong, but it's not as serious as now that they have come out, the insurgents have come out of the forest and are now beginning to overrun towns and cities.
He called on the political elite to stop playing politics with the lives of Nigerians.
You see, it is important for us to realize that every single life is important. The Chibok girls we are politicking with, The innocent lives, nobody is talking about them. Those families, are they not agonizing? I would be happier if the people who are talking about Chibok will organize and say, let them go and sympathize with the families of those who have lost their people. Are don't those lives count for anything? But we'll rather play politics, you know, and be seen on national television. I can assure you that if there was no press, media coverage, the people who are doing this, they would not do it. It's not that it's not important, okay? But let's stop politicking and let every life begin to count.
Chief of Defense Staff of West African states are converging on Ghana to review the general security situation in the region. The meeting carries the theme strengthening ECOWAS military cooperation for peace, stability and development. The regional defense chiefs are to receive an update on the security situation in northern Nigeria, where Boko Haram has seized some towns and declared an Islamic caliphate. They will also, during their three-day talks, be briefed on the Ebola virus disease outbreak in West Africa, which ECOWAS has tagged a security threat. In addition, the meeting will also consider the status report on the ECOWAS standby force, as well as receive updates on the new peace support operation divisions. While the police authorities have deployed newly appointed police commissioners to command positions in 21 states. This, according to police spokesman Emmanuel Ojukwu, is based on recommendation of the Police Service Commission and its subsequent approval. Kaudi Deronti is now the new Commissioner of Police in Lagos, while Acting Commissioner Wilson Inalegu is in charge of Federal Capital Territory. One-time police spokesman Olushola Amore takes charge in Niger State. Usman Yakubu is posted to Nasarawa State and Clement Adoda in Borno State, among others. A few hours after naming new command police commissioners, Acting Inspector General of Police Suleiman Abba has redeployed 32 others to various formations. A statement released by the police spokesman Emmanuel Ojukwu says Tunde Shobolo remains in Lagos as the new commandant of the police college in Ikeja, while one-time deputy force PRO is now the commissioner in charge of administration at the Force CID. You're watching CoreTV News at 7. We'll take a short break now. We'll be right back with more stories. Stay with us.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes and bleeding from the eyes, ears and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
It's CoreTV News at 7. Nigeria has recorded a new Ebola case to bring the number of confirmed cases in the country to 19. Health Minister Onyebuchi Chukwu disclosed this at a press briefing in Abuja. He revealed that the new case is the fiance of one of the primary contacts of the index case, but added that he has recovered.
As of this morning, the total number of confirmed cases of Ebola virus disease in Nigeria is 19. 15 in Lagos, 4 in Port Harcourt. The 19 cases which have been actually in existence but not confirmed earlier is the fiance of one of the primary contacts of Mr. Sawyers, who died of the disease. The test results were equivocal, but further tests have now established that indeed he suffered from the disease. He had only mild symptoms and he has since recovered from the illness. He was quarantined, but because of the initial equivocal test result, he was not placed on active treatment. The total number of deaths from Ebola virus disease in Nigeria stands at 7. 5 of these died in Lagos, One, as you know, the index case, Mr. Patrick Sawyer in a private hospital, while the other 4 died in the isolation ward in Lagos State.
Meanwhile, the Nigerian government wants the international community to stop singling out its citizens for screening on suspicion of Ebola virus disease. This, according to Health Minister Onyebuchi, is because the country has the disease under control. He made the appeal at a press conference in Abuja, where he also insisted that Nigeria has learned from its experience with the disease. The report.
Days after Ebola virus disease was imported into Nigeria, and the authorities appear to have its spread in check. But the stigma attached to the disease now threatens the milestone already recorded. Recently, there have been reports of profiling and quarantine of Nigerians in several countries on account of their origin. The Nigerian authorities say such an approach is uncalled for.
We're in control. We have contained the situation. Ebola is not on the street in Nigeria anywhere. So we're again appealing to countries and individuals not to profile or stigmatize anyone on account of Ebola virus disease. In particular, we have observed that some countries have continued to selectively quarantine Nigerian travelers without any health or scientific basis.
There is a situation involving a journalist back in Cuba on account of Ebola, but the government says it is presently looking into the matter.
The journalist went to Cuba and has been detained for 3 weeks. It is expected that that journalist or that newspaper should be able to reach out to the Nigerian mission in Cuba. Because when you travel out, you must remember the address of your mission, so that if you have this, and then you are able to get the mission to enforce your rights.
The only case when you mentioned Cuba we had was of a journalist working for a newspaper in Nigeria. We got that through one of you. We didn't get that from the media house where that individual works, which was surprising. But as a responsible ministry, we've already written formally, we did weeks ago, we wrote formally to the to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to help us investigate the case. And now that you've mentioned it, maybe today we would want to remind and ask them what was the outcome of their own investigation.
And in spite of Nigeria's widely acknowledged success in handling Ebola, the authorities still want the citizenry to remain aware of the threat posed by the disease and adhere strictly to World Health Organization protocols.
Away from that now, the political engine room of Lagos State was again ignited as the former Accountant General of the state, Akinwumi Ambode, formally declared his intention to contest the 2015 governorship election. Thousands of APC supporters thronged the Gbagada campaign office of the candidate to register their support for his ambition. Olajumoke Olatuji was there and filing this report.
Lagos is the commercial nerve center of the country. No wonder every sector of the Nigerian society, ranging from religious to commercial and traditional institutions, are keenly interested in who emerges as the chief executive of the state. Before now, speculations were rife in the Lagos political arena that the former Counsel General of the state, Akinwumi Ambode, is the candidate whom the party's leadership has endorsed to lead the state after the incumbent Babatunde Fashola vacates the seat in 2015. However, this remained a grapevine until this formal declaration by Ambode.
We are here because we just want to show you a common location where the aspiration and the future of Lagos is evolving, and this is where we are. We've had a lot of legacy groups and they've been bearing different names. But what we have done now is to bring everybody together in a manner that we have a structured organization that can drive our campaign. It's not as if we have declared, but these are supporters, these are friends, these are party members who believe that the future of Lagos State should be in our hands. And that's the aspiration we tend to seek right now.
Since the recent declaration by the Oba of Lagos, Rilwan Akiolu, that he will be the next governor of Lagos, Akinwumi Ambode has had to contend with a plethora of challenges ranging from religious consideration to organized zoning, his patrilineage, and lately alleged funding of his campaign through the councils in the state. This might look like a step in the right direction for this man who's finally come out to give answers to so many questions concerning his political ambitions. As a look, the race to Lausa 2015 has finally begun, and political disputants have started to relate their intentions through banners and posters on the streets of Lagos. Now, Lagosians are earnestly waiting to see who will succeed Babatunde Raji Fashola as governor of Lagos State come 2015 general elections. Olajumoke Olatunji, CoreTV News, Lagos.
The National Bureau of Statistics has dismissed recent figures in the public domain on the rate of unemployment in Nigeria. The Statistician General Yemi Kale says at a forum in Abuja that the Bureau has not published any document on the rate of unemployment in the country since 2011. He added that the NBS is working on new ways through which accurate data could be generated and presented to the public.
In Nigeria, between 1.2 million to 2.2 million people enter the labor force every year, an average of about 1.6 million. And it's important that we generate sufficient full-time employment for them. At this juncture, let me clarify, as the apex statistical body in the country, some misconceptions about the labor force and about unemployment in Nigeria. The labor force is only those within a particular age group in Nigeria, 15 to 65, willing and able to work. And unemployment is a proportion or number of people in that labor force that cannot find work, and not the entire population. This means if you are a student or voluntary housewife, or choose not to work for whatever reason, or are unable to work, or are younger than 15, or are older than 65, you are not in the labor force, and consequently you cannot be unemployed. So every time I see certain percentages being used against the entire population of 170 plus million, that is incorrect. We don't calculate children or students or housewives as unemployed because they are not looking for work, they are not willing, and are not able to work. And this
You're still watching CoreTV News at 7. We'll take a short break. We'll be right back with stories outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, our 24-hour news station.
Glad to have you back now outside Nigeria. Bewildered families, nursing children clutching onto their meager belongings, packed into makeshift relief centers after fleeing floods in India and Pakistan that have now claimed more than 400 lives. The army is airlifting boats to the worst hit areas of India, Kashmir, where whole villages have been submerged and hundreds of thousands are stranded in the region's worst flooding for half a century. In neighboring Pakistan, the number of dead stood at 206, with most killed in Punjab province, officials say. Thousands of troops, police and other emergency personnel have been deployed in both countries to deliver drinking water, blankets and other relief supplies using helicopters and boats. In India, rescue efforts were focused on flooded South Kashmir and the Himalayan region's main city of Srinagar, with some 400,000 people still stranded. At Srinagar's outskirts, some 400 people sat on the floor in small groups, taking stock of their lives after floodwaters submerged their homes. Away from that, the United Nations say surging levels of carbon dioxide send greenhouse gases into the atmosphere to a new record in 2013, while oceans which absorb the emissions have become more acidic than ever. The report came ahead of a September 23 summit aimed at forging a historic climate deal that will take effect in 2020. The UN is seeking to limit global warming to 2 degrees Celsius over pre-industrial revolution levels, but scientists say current emission strengths could hike temperatures to more than twice than level by the end of the century.
CO2, the rate of increase is the largest over the last 30 years at least. So this is not good news because it's not only business as usual, but the concentration increase.
That does it for CoreTV News at 7. Many thanks for watching. I am Frank Omalape. Don't forget, join us at 9:45 p.m. for our primetime bulletin. Thanks for watching.